Today we are talking about drowning in open loops. We are going to go through the neuroscience of what it means to be mentally overloaded. A lot of us have experienced this, maybe during a season of our life or during transition. The mental load isn't a personality trait, it is a structural problem. It's not because, oh, I'm a disorganized person. No, I'm going to show you exactly what it's costing you at a neurological level and what actually solves it. The first issue we want to look at is attention residue. Attention residue is stealing your presence. You are at dinner with your man trying to enjoy the dinner, but then you're not really there. You are thinking about an email that you need to send. You're thinking about the order that you need to place from a vendor. You're thinking about all different things and you're not being present. Part of you is already running tomorrow's schedule. Part of you just remembered that there was something that you need to do 3 days ago. This isn't poor focus. This is attention residue. Sophie Leroy identified this phenomenon in her research. She's a business professor. She found out that when you switch from one task to another task without fully completing the first task, your attention doesn't fully transfer onto that task that you moved on to. Her research says that part of your cognitive capacity stays stuck on that previous task. However many open loops you have, it's the same amount of attention residue that you are running. If you're carrying 37 open loops, you have 37 sources of attention residue. So here's what it looks like in real life. You're on a call with your child's school, but your brain is partially occupied by the fact that you haven't responded to an important email. Your attention is fractured. You miss details of what's going on in the present. You're less strategic. You're not operating at full capacity. Another one, you're playing with your child, but you're mentally running through a checklist of things that you need to do. Yes, you're technically present, but you're not there. And you know it. And that creates some sort of guilt within, which creates more cognitive load. You're trying to fall asleep and then poop, your brain is cycling through lists of things because none of it is resolved. Because your brain is still holding on to all of it. The cost isn't just productivity. I think that is maybe a mid-tier cost. It is connection. The connection that you build with people, the relationship that you form by being present, connection with your spouse, connection with your child, connection with your business partners, is the ability to be fully engaged in the moment that you are actually in. And the core part, the more high capacity you are, the more responsibility you carry, the more people depend on you, and the more severe this effect becomes. Some people would say you are being punished for your capabilities. But no, I would say that you have to start resolving open loops so that you don't have attention residue leaks. The third and final issue that I'm going to break down for you as to why you are experiencing this cognitive overload is that your nervous system is treating administration work or admin in your life like mortal threats. Let's talk about what is happening in your body while your brain is managing impossible load. Your amygdala, that is the part that is responsible for detecting threats, fight or flight. It doesn't understand the difference between, oh, I might forget my sister's birthday, and, oh, there's a predator in this room. It triggers the same response. That is the stress hormone. Cortisol. You hear some people say, oh yeah, I need to lower my cortisol level. Yeah, that's stress hormone. Adrenaline. Your nervous system is preparing you for flight or fight. The only thing is that you cannot fight an open loop and you cannot flee from your own mental load because it's within you. So you live in this constant low grade activation. That is the same reason why you check your phone obsessively. Maybe you're waiting and anxiously waiting for something. It's the reason why out of nowhere at 3 a.m. in the morning, can you just imagine that? 3 a.m. in the morning, you're suddenly remembering things because you're not fully in that deep sleep. It is why you have that persistent feeling that you're forgetting something critical. This used to happen to me a lot when I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm just not remembering something. I'm forgetting something. A neuroscientist called Andrew Huberman calls this the chronic autonomic arousal. Your nervous system never fully downregulates because it perceives threats, constantly perceive threats. The open loops never gets resolved. And here's the compounding effect. When your prefrontal cortex is depleted from maintaining all these mental tabs, you lose access to its regulating influence over your amygdala. Because your prefrontal cortex is one usually they would keep the amygdala in check. Like, okay, let's wire this. Everything is okay. But because there are many open loops and open tabs, the prefrontal cortex can barely do its job. So because that part of your brain is too exhausted to do its job properly, the response becomes stress, becomes hyperactive. Small things that wouldn't even be a big deal becomes overwhelming. You become more and more reactive to things and less resilient. Do you just ever see someone that you say one little thing and it's like you're pushing them off the edge? It's like you're poking the bear. They're so snappy. This isn't about them being too sensitive. I think it's more about the mental overload, the neurological dysregulation that this has caused them. They're running their nervous system into the ground trying to be a filing cabinet. I'm telling you all this because I need you to know that there is a name for these things that you're experiencing. There is a source, and you need to deal with it from the source, not cut off the branches. Not try to manage it more, trying to put a system that won't hold up in place. So here are some of the solutions that I have for you. Eliminate attention residue through architectural planning. One of the things that I love to do with people and with group is a quarterly planning. I run a group quarterly planning, and the next one would be end of March for Q2. To lay down an architectural runway for the projects and the things that they have in their own personal and professional life. This is going to help you to release the cognitive load that you're carrying. Attention residue compounds when you are constantly switching between incomplete context. So the solution isn't just better focus, it is better structure. I've talked about this in multiple videos. This is the intellectual property for rooted productivity. It's the 3-part day framework that drives identity-driven execution. When you buy your planner, there's a companion that comes with it and it breaks this down as well. This 3-part day works with your brain natural cycle. It works with your brain attention cycle. Morning is used for deep work when your prefrontal cortex is fresh. Afternoon for collaborative execution. Evening for completion and planning. You're not managing tasks. You're not a task manager. You are managing cognitive overload so that you can actually go about your day in the right energy, in the right structure without exhausting too much energy. When you complete one section before moving on to the next section, your attention fully transfers. You're not carrying residue. You are operating in full capacity in each context. If you're still listening, thank you for listening. I'm going to give you a bonus solution. So, restore your nervous system regulation through closure. Your amygdala calms down when threats are resolved, but it doesn't know the difference between task completed and task definitely scheduled. And when I really hammer and bring home the identity-driven execution system, I need you to know that this is a framework and intellectual property that much has gone into. It creates closure. The identity-driven execution system is not just any system. This is neurological based, spiritually based as well. It creates closure loops. You're not just writing down tasks. You are assigning specific time block in alignment with who you are becoming. Your brain stops treating them as threats because they're no longer uncertain. They are scheduled. They are handled. The loop is closed. Now, your nervous system can finally downregulate. Finally. This isn't about being more organized. This is about restoring cognitive architecture to its designed capacity. You are not meant to walk in overload. You are not meant and created to perpetually be in this mental load that you're carrying. It's not sustainable. And it is costing you not just your productivity, but your present, your relationships, your mental facilities, your peace, your ability to think strategically instead of just surviving. You are made for more, and that is why you're here. You're made for influence. I really want to invite you to go and get your Rooted Productivity Planner. It's not just an aesthetic planner. Let me write this. No. It's calling you forward into the bigger, greater, capable, confident person that you are called to be, that you are. It is a structured cognitive offloading system that is built on neuroscience, not just vibes, not just templates off Canva. If you're done letting your working memory manage what should be an external storage, if you're ready to close the loops that are keeping your nervous system in constant activation, go to rootedproductivity.com. rootedproductivity.com. Get the planner and get this off your mental load. Get the planner and get going. Get the planner and restore your relationships. Also, you can join my email list. Every week, I send frameworks for high capacity women who are done pretending that the hustle and the mental overload are just the price for ambition. Your brain deserves better infrastructure. So stop carrying what should be captured. Stop carrying what you can just assign and delegate to Rooted Productivity Planner. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a comment down below on Spotify or if you're watching on YouTube. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on your listening platform. Make sure you send this to 2 of your friends. I would love to connect with you. Connect with me on TikTok and on Instagram, Juliet in Frame. You can also learn more about my services at themadeorg.com. And to start delegating and closing those mentally charged tasks, make sure you get your Rooted Productivity Planner. Thank you again for listening. I'm your host, Juliet Olabanji, and this is Made for Influence podcast. Bye-bye.